Hi everyone, welcome to Find Your Flow Yoga. My name is Natalie and I will be guiding you through this slow flow today. So taking this nice and steady with our movement practice. This is great for anyone and everyone. We are going to get started by making sure we have our at-home props. So our blankets, cushions, pillows, books, whatever we have to find that support for us. So if you don't have them, you can pause the video, go and grab them. And we'll meet here finding a comfortable seat. So don't worry if you can't get down into a sukhasana like I am. If this brings any fussiness to the knee space, that's okay. We can also come to a chair. So bringing your chair to you, and that sometimes is nice as well. Maybe later on in our practice, we can use our chair to find a little bit more support in our other poses. So wherever you are, finding a super comfortable space. And if you are on the ground, be sure to lift the hips up onto something, anything at all. I've got a yoga block here, but you can use pillows, you can use folded blankets, towels, absolutely anything at all you have to hand. We just want to find a bit more space around the hips. Nice, and then softening into our seat wherever we are. We'll start to notice this length through our spine. So a lot of the time we spend our life quite hunched, curled shoulders, heart space collapsing, head drooping. So really just be aware of this space we're trying to find in this shape we're trying to create. So consciously imagining somebody has a piece of string from the crown of your head, and then lifting it towards the sky. And as they do this, your spine lengthens. And you reach tall like a mountain, softening the shoulders away from the ears. A lovely long line from the tip of our tailbone through our lower back, middle back, upper back, through our neck to the crown of our head. But just make sure we're sitting really comfy here. We don't have to be really rigid, like a ruler. So finding this softness wherever we are, but just noticing the length that we can find. And closing the eyes or softening the gaze. We'll begin to slowly and gently notice our breath. And it is as simple as it sounds. Just start to be really aware of each inhale as we breathe in through the nose. And each exhale out of the nose. Continue just like that. And with this awareness and consciousness, start to notice the rhythm of your breath. Notice the length of your breath. And just allow for it to unfold. We aren't trying to make our breath any certain way, make it super long or deep. We're just taking this time to sit with it, be with it. And can we come to notice this space in our body where we feel our breath the most? We might like to place our hands there. Could be on our stomach, the ribs, the chest, the side body, wherever it is, just notice. And you be consciously aware of this balloon inflating and deflating. And whenever you're ready, we'll take a nice breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. 2 more times. In through the nose, feeling everything expand and rise. Exhale, sigh it all out once more. Coming back to your natural breath. Everybody placing the left hand on the heart, the right hand on the stomach. On your next exhale, smiling. Being grateful for this moment and for our practice. And let the breath flow and continue to flow as we begin to move in a way that feels good. Can we keep up this conscious breath as we open our eyes, release our arms down by our sides or falling on the lap wherever they are naturally. Taking our gaze over to the right, moving in a circle down towards the ground, over to the left, lifting towards the sky, taking this nice and slowly. Take it even slower than I am if that feels good. One more time in this direction, and then 2 more times in the opposite direction, but there's no rush here. And rather than just doing each of our postures within our practice because that's just what we're doing, because that's what I'm telling you to do, can we really experience each posture and how it feels for each part of our body that's moving? Make it an experience rather than a destination. And coming back to center, I think I got lost there, and coming back to gaze forwards. Placing the left hand on the outside of the right leg, wherever it feels most comfortable. And then floating the right hand all the way behind us, coming into a twist. We might like to lift our right hand onto some support to lift the earth up to us. So this doesn't have to be a big crank around, but just noticing the space and this rotation through our rib cage. Keeping the shoulders soft from beneath the ears, spine nice and long. Imagine that string from the crown of our head. Nice. Lovely, one more breath here. Really slowly unravel back to center. Taking the right hand to the outer left thigh. Left hand all the way behind us. And if you're on your chair, we're doing this exactly the same. Don't panic, trust yourself. Reaching tall and rotating through our ribs, getting some movement into our spine, particularly our thoracic spine. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more breath here. Floating back to center, bringing the hands together at the heart. So the heel of the hands and the fingertips are lightly touching. Elbows come out slightly. Then reaching the fingertips forward, almost like a shark fin. Opening the palms wide, finding space. Nice, arms reach out. And then taking the hands to the shoulders. We'll carve a line with our elbows forwards, round and back. Only take this circle as big or as wide as feels comfortable. It's not a competition with anybody here. And then take your elbows in the opposite direction. Remember, the experience is what we're looking for, not the end destination. And coming back to center, reaching the arms out wide. Hands come together in front. We find our shark fin. Then palms float together at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Nice. We're going to do this 2 more times. So finding a flow with your movement. As you let your breath lead the way, hands reach forwards, we open. Hands to the shoulders. Circle forwards, round and back. Back, round and forwards. Arms open wide. Palms float together. And back into the heart. Keep this heart space lifting towards the thumbs. One more time. Opening. And this time, as we open and sending the palms together, fingertips forwards, I invite you to curl the chin towards the chest, round through the spine. Again, this isn't a big move. Just find one breath here. And then come back to our neutral spine, arms open. And as the arms open, I invite you to lift the heart space forward, lift the gaze slightly. Nice, take the arms a little bit further back, so it rose from the Titanic sort of view here. So one more breath. And bringing the arms back forwards, hands come to the shoulders. We come all the way forwards, round and back, round and forwards. Now I'm going to do this one more time each way, either keeping the hands on the shoulders or taking the arms out wide like windmills. Coming all the way around and back. And forwards. Nice, lovely everyone. Arms float wide, we'll finish our flow. Palms come together, out and front. Hands come to the heart, bowing our head towards our hands. And lifting. Making your way, taking your time to come down to the ground in an all fours tabletop. So there's absolutely no rush here. And I really do invite you to bring some padding underneath the knees if this feels a little bit better for you, a little bit more supported. And if you come down here and straight away think, hang on a minute, coming on my knees isn't for me, then I do have a chair yoga video which you might like. The whole video is on a chair, so it's really, really great, really accessible. But yeah, just listen to your own body, really, really, I can't stress that enough. So coming down onto the ground, we'll bring our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. And we'll press lightly away from the ground. So peek at me if you need to. Instead of sinking into our shoulder space, we're actively lifting away. So we're finding a bit of a rise in the space in between our shoulder blades. And then sending our left leg behind us, toes onto the earth. We'll start to rock forwards over the wrists and back over the foot. Nice. Keep coming forwards and back, keeping those toes tucked under. And if this ever gets too much on the wrist, we can bring the hands to fists or find your at-home props, your books, whatever you have. And again, this just finds a little bit more support for this space. So notice exactly what you need and take it. And then coming back to our neutral spine. We might like to stay here today or start to tap into this connection to our center as we kick the heel away behind us. And keep kicking away as we lift the left leg away from the ground so the toes reach off. And this doesn't have to be a really big, great lift. We're keeping our hips level here. But just lift the toes towards the shins. And notice this engagement you can feel in your muscles. Finding one more breath here. Before releasing down into our all fours. Just shake it out. We'll bump the hips to the left. Take our gaze past our right shoulder. And then bumping our hips to the right, gazing past our left. Coming back to center, we'll float the right leg behind us. Toes come to the earth first. And just find your rocks forward and back. We're just waking up this space in the body, getting some oil into the joints. One more breath here. Gaze stays down as we kick away through the right heel and start to float the toes off the ground if we feel comfortable. And if we notice our weight collapsing into our left side, can we maybe not take our legs so far? And if you start to shake a little here, that's okay. But if ever it doesn't feel good, just come back down. We're just really connecting and creating this inner fire. One more breath. Knees float down. We come back into our tabletop. And take your time to step the left foot forwards. So if you need to give it a helping hand, you can take as long as you want to. We'll come into a low lunge. So with our back knee on the ground, you might like to double pad underneath the back knee. We'll take a nice wide stance. So notice if your front foot and your back knee are in alignment, and you'll find this really, really difficult to balance here. So we're taking a wide gap in between both of our legs, almost like a parallel line of a train track. So take this time to set up here with the front knee over the front ankle, toes nice and soft. And we can keep our hands on our hips, and if we do feel a little bit wobbly, this is that time we can come to our support. So if we are near a wall or we're near our chair, then we can take hold of that and just feel this space, but also this strength we're finding through the hip flexors and the hip space. So taking a breath in and a breath out. And then either taking both hands behind the head or one hand behind and keeping the other hand on your support. We'll open our elbows wide, lift our heart, lift our gaze. And then curling the elbows towards each other, round through the spine, tucking the chin to the chest. And then opening back up to center. We'll take our elbows over to the left side, feeling into our right side body. Nice. And coming back to center and over to the right. Really small movements. Really take this at your own pace. And then coming all the way back into our lunge. We'll release the hands and step into our tabletop, all fours. And if we need to, come off the hands, come off the knees and just shake it all out. And if we decide halfway we want to come to a chair to find that support on the chair, then just pause the video, go and grab one, and we'll meet you back in our tabletop, all fours. So stepping the right foot forward now, coming into our lunge on the other side. Nice wide stance. Still keeping this length through our spine, this piece of string from the crown of our head, hands on the hips. Taking a breath here, staying wherever you want to. Next step is to take the hands, one or two, behind the head. Lifting our heart, opening the elbows wide, gazing up slightly. We'll find extension through our spine. And then curling the spine forwards, chin towards the chest, elbows towards each other in flexion. Nice, one more time, coming back to the center, and then over to the left side. We're just getting all of the spine, all of the torso moving, coming back through center, over to the right side. And floating back, nice, framing the front foot, coming into your tabletop. And then take this time to make your own way up to standing. So anything you need to, any support you want to take, do so. We'll come to find ourselves in a mountain pose. So we'll do this by taking our feet a comfortable hips distance apart. The toes come forwards, our knees stay nice and softly bent over the toes. And then floating the arms out wide. We'll reach for the sky, gazing up if we can. Hands float together down at the heart. Anjali Mudra. Then bending our knees a little bit more if we can. Arms cross over and we reach wide. Spreading our wings like a bird. Hands come together towards each other and down towards the heart. One more time. Are we breathing here? Opening. And releasing. Nice. Hands come to the heart. Then we'll take our hands to our sitting bones. And keeping this nice comfortable space around the sacrum with our feet, hips distance apart. If you do want to here, you can bring a chair behind you if you want that extra support. We'll breathe in, and as we breathe out, we'll send our sitting bones to the back of our mat. Bend our knees slightly. Imagine we're about to sit back in a chair, but not all the way down. And then bringing our hands together, either at our heart, or hands can come to the hips. Notice where you want to be here. And then lengthening the legs, coming back to our mountain pose. Ooh, shake the legs if we need to. Taking a breath in. Breath out, coming all the way back, hands to the sitting bones. Sending the sitting bones behind us. Imagine we're coming down to our chair, feeling our feet on the earth. All 26 bones of our feet connecting to the ground. Bring the hands to wherever you want to. We'll find one more breath here before lengthening. Shake anything out that you want to. And then taking a breath in. Hands to the sitting bones and releasing sitting bones behind us. Last time, coming into Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhaling and exhaling, taking the hands wherever you want to. Finding one more breath here. Before lengthening the legs. Nice, really, really nice. And then everybody just make your way towards the back of your mat if you aren't already there. We'll step our left foot forwards and turn our right toes out. So keeping this really wide stance. My feet are as wide as my mat. So really, when I say a nice wide stance, I really mean it. Because if we're on this tightrope here, we do struggle to find that balance and we don't get as much support for our body and our bones. So turning the front toes forwards and the back toes out slightly. We'll bend our front knee and spiral our back thigh towards the front of our mat. And as we spiral it forwards, notice how our hips start to travel forwards. But they don't need to be square on. We're just finding and experiencing again this sensation of the thigh rolling in. As we reach our arms, hands come together at the heart. Maybe we stay here, or we come down to the hands on the hips, or we explore reaching the fingertips high, and then softening the elbows, softening the shoulders, finding cactus arms. Really feeling all four corners of both feet on the ground. We're rooting down through the knife edge of our back foot, imagining we have a little ladybird under the back in our arch that we're trying not to squash. Keeping this long line, the string from the crown of our head. One more breath here. Before releasing the arms, stepping the back foot to meet the front foot and wiggling it out. Nice, really lovely. We're getting everything moving and shaking. So, coming back to stillness and stepping the left leg behind us. Nice, wide stance. Go through your checklist here as we come back to our warrior one on the other side. So spiraling the back thigh forward slightly. Front knee bent, back leg long. Really feel the feet on the ground. And take the hands wherever they feel most comfortable. Notice what you feel here. Breathing in, breathing out. Releasing the arms, stepping the back foot to meet the front foot, wiggling it out if we need to. And then coming to find some support from our wall, our chair, anything at all, only if we'd like to. We might have been practicing yoga for a bit longer, so we might feel more comfortable with this. So really listen to your body and grow your practice at your own pace. We'll bring our weight into our left leg. But rather than just hoisting our right leg straight up, can we really start to feel the connection to the earth through the left sole of the foot, through each of our toes, through the heel, the ball of the foot. Spread this awareness through your ankle, to your calf, your shin up to the knee. All of the muscles, tendons, ligaments that support the knee area. Spreading this up through the thigh, back through the hamstring, to the glutes and the hips. So much is going on here to help us feel supported. As we lift our right foot off the ground, maybe we stay here. We might like to take it a little bit higher, but just find our breath wherever we are, taking what support we need. Have we started to hold our breath or clench our jaw? Or maybe the shoulders have come up by the ears, they've crept up slowly throughout the practice. So just noticing all of this, consciously releasing, finding one more breath here. And softening, right foot down, shaking the hips, doing anything you want to here before coming onto our right side. Feeling that connection grow, almost like a wave, surging up from the foot all the way through the leg to your trunk that's keeping you nice and supported like the trunk of a tree. And then the left leg will come away from the ground. Noticing here if we're sinking into the hip of the standing leg. If we are, can we just press away through the heel to lift out of this hip space? Notice where your awareness is here, and if you fall, don't worry, laugh, smile, the ground is always there to catch you. Nice. Finding one more breath here. And before releasing, left foot down to the ground. Well done everyone, wiggle the hips, shake anything out, take a big breath in, sigh it out. Gorgeous. We are actually going to finish our practice in our mountain pose. If you do want to come down to the ground instead, then feel free to finish in a traditional Shavasana corpse pose lying on the earth, or if you feel good in a seated, you can always come there. But for everyone else, we're going to stay in our mountain pose. Keeping this softness in the knees. The arms hanging heavy down by our sides. Fingers and toes soft. The forehead, brow, cheeks and jaw. All released of any tension. Melting the shoulders away from the ears. And either keeping the hands and arms where they are, or floating the left hand to the heart, the right hand to the stomach. Feeling this space as we connect our practice to our breath and our breath to our mind and to our body. Ask yourself how you feel here. Can you become aware of everything you can feel right now in this moment? But without labeling these sensations as good or bad. Simply just being aware of them as a sensation. Either keeping the hands where they lie, or floating the heel of the hands and the fingertips together at the heart in Anjali Mudra. Bowing the head towards the heart in gratitude for this moment. thanking ourselves for taking this precious time to practice. I thank you for your time and for your energy. And from my heart to yours, Namaste.